everybody. You have now arrived at chapter 3. We're on page 55. And the first thing we're going to do is just review our expanded reading range. So we're actually, I shouldn't say review because some of this is new. So we're going to take our treble clef, and we had our G, which is our old familiar note, landmark, and then bass F. And let's throw our middle C's in there just for good measure. And then I'm going to take the treble G and put it up an octave. And notice when I do that, it just sits right on top of the staff. Very easy to identify and remember. So when it sits on top of the staff, it's just another G, high G. Let's call this high G. Same with bass F. When we take it down an octave, we get a mirror image of the high G. So this is a very nice symmetrical looking system that these early medieval monks worked out for us, especially when we got to the point where we divided it in between treble and bass and just have middle C as the center. We do get a nice symmetry with the landmarks. So low F and high G. So that's your cue to make a few more flashcards because we're going up higher and lower. And since you can easily read at least a fifth off of all these intervals, you could take G up a fifth and low F down a fifth. You're going to have to add ledger lines to do that. So that is our new reading range, and a lot of the pieces will be using these. If you look on page 56, another useful landmark system that a lot of teachers use are the 6 C's. So I'm going to add the C's back in like I had them. These are, let's just pretend we've got a mirror here. All right, here's our mirror. And that looks symmetrical. If I put a C up here, it's on the 3rd space. Notice if I go down 3 spaces, I also get a C. That's another mirror image. Now, if I want a high C, it's going to be up a 4th from that G. So 2 ledger lines up is high C. Let's play these also while we're middle C, low C, or bass C, and then 2 ledger lines down is low C. Okay, so we're going to call these high C, low C. And all of these are mirror images. And by the way, C is the only letter of the musical alphabet that will give you a symmetry like that across the entire staff, the grand staff. These are symmetrical, but they're different letter names, F and G. So these are useful because the clefs are F and G clef. But the C is also, so my recommendation, use both because you'll just be much more fluent in your reading if you make use of both of these systems. Okay, and we're also introducing officially triads. We've probably been doing them in your class with whoever your teacher is, but when you take your pentascale pattern and you play the bottom, the middle, and the top notes, 1, 3, and 5, we call that a major triad. And we're going to be blocking them now, so we might be accompanying tunes with a blocked chord. We'll also be playing them what we call arpeggio style. So go ahead and look at page 57, and your left hand starts on a low C, and it just plays the triad. And how do we know that? It's line, line, line. So even though you're on ledger lines, it's not difficult to read if you read by interval. Then the right hand, see, RH takes over in the bass on space, space, space. So it's C, E, G. Then watch, my left hand's crossing over middle C. So now left hand is in the treble. E, and right hand comes out and plays a C. Let's try it again. Bass, left. Bass in the right. Treble in the left. And bring the right hand out. And try to plan ahead. As soon as you're done with the left, it should be crossing over. Like, don't wait until, oh, I got to get up there, you know. Always plan ahead. Pianists are always thinking strategically. because think about it, you've only got 10 of these and you've got 88 of these. So pretty much the number one technical issue you'll be facing as a pianist is how to get from point A to point B. All right, that's super important. If I distilled everything about technique at the piano down to one idea, that would be it. So you can't afford to just be hanging out on a note when your hand is done and not doing anything. It's always thinking, where do I go next? Okay, in your brain, you're thinking that for each hand. Okay, so let's take a look at bun in the treble and bun in the bass. These are hot cross buns. And we're going to accompany this little melody, which is super easy. You can all play it with a chord in the left. So go ahead and just play the melody once. Right hand in C position. 1, 2, ready, and E, D, C. And notice there's a repeat sign, so you'll do it twice. But for now, let's get our left hand in on the act. You're going to just block on every downbeat. Let's see if you can coordinate that. Ready, both hands. And again, lift it and play. Lift and play. And you know, if you're bored on the repeat, try taking it up an octave or down an octave. You can make some fun out of it for yourself. All right, now let's reverse hands. If you are right-handed, which most of you are, this might be quite challenging for you. You're going to play the melody in your left hand. So let's do that first. You're on the C position, finger 3, E, D, C. Okay, hopefully you can do it, even though it's probably not as comfortable. And now you're going to block the chord in the right hand. So let me hear your first event. 3 in the left and the chord. 1, 2, ready, here we go. Again. So it's really good practice to get facile enough to be able to switch melodies down to the bass as well as the treble. Some of the all-time great pieces have these gorgeous baritone or tenor melodies where the left hand's doing it. So enjoy that and make sure you can play both. Don't just stop at one.